So you've got awesome cast iron and you want to make Philly cheesesteak. Let's go ahead and get started.
If you want the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia, D'Alessandro's Cheesesteaks. Now it's not in the city, it's right outside of the city, but because you're doing your own personal tour, D'Alessandro's.
I disagree with her 100%. The best Philly cheesesteak outside of Philly is on cast iron in your kitchen.
It can be difficult nowadays to find a decent butcher, but don't be afraid to ask in your regular grocery store whether or not the butcher can go into the back and cut you a decent piece of steak. You'll want to find ribeye for this. You can use a standard out of the case ribeye, but I can tell you, you get that cut for maybe 2.5 inches thick, you're going to get better texture and better slices for this cheesesteak.
So you'll see we focus in on a griddle in this video, but if all you have is a cast iron skillet, a Blackstone griddle, or this Lodge reversible, this is our favorite. You can see the weight and the heft in this. Makes for a really great cook.
During the next part of gathering your ingredients together, you're going to want to put this in the freezer. It's always easier to cut slightly frozen meat. You're also going to want to get your knife good and sharp, so whatever your sharpening method is, you'll get better slices out of the cuts.
While that's sitting in the freezer, depending on the temperature of your freezer, it may take an hour or two for that crust, that frozen crust, to form on the outside of the steak. Go ahead and get your vegetables cut up.
We also like to have home fries with our Philly cheesesteak, and I'll give you an insider's tip. You know how it's difficult to recreate that crunchy flavor? Well, soak your fries for an hour or two in cold water before you fry them, and you'll get those crispy fries. Now that you've got that frozen crust on the meat, do a little bit of trimming, and you'll notice that that meat is not giving. You can get finer cuts with that soft frozen meat. Save all that fat. If you're a hunter, you can grind that into your venison later. We've got other videos that show you how to do the ground venison. We like beef fat add more than pork fat add. What I'm showing you right through that piece of the cut, it looks like little gelatin rubber bands or something, little striations right through there. That section of meat is little tougher bits. I actually like to trim that out and go ahead and feed that to the dog. Right in through there, you can actually see the toughness of it and those striations and the tendons that run through there. Doesn't make for very good tender steak.
Make sure you stay until the end when you see this meat actually cooking on this cast iron. It gets a different fond or a different crust on that meat than you would in a regular stainless steel pan.
And nothing says that it's written in stone that you have to do this trim out, just the way we like to do it. You can leave all that fat in there if you'd like. And you know the old saying, what is fat? Flavor. There's that delicious fat trim that we're going to put in our venison come hunting season. It's time to go ahead and load up those spices. We like to do some salt, pepper, just a touch of onion powder, garlic powder, and even some chopped dried onions.
Don't skimp on the bread when it comes to making your Philly cheesesteaks. Pick your favorite kind of bread. Do you like a crunchy exterior? Do you like a soft exterior? Do you like thick buns or thin buns? You make the choice, but it absolutely is a part of what you like.
As you can see in this menu in Philadelphia, there's a bunch of different ways you can have it. Here's a little insider tip for you. You're going to want to have everything cut up and already on the bread, because we'll show you later in the video, there's a little flip that makes this sandwich not messy and possible. Another little quick tip for you, when you're cooking butter on high heat, add a little bit of olive oil. It helps prevent the butter from burning. The onions and mushrooms take a little bit longer to cook than the meat, so you're going to want to start those first and then bring in the meat. We've chosen to use a Lodge cast iron grill underneath two 15,000 BTU portable burners. This reversible griddle is one of the heavier griddles that we own, and with that heaviness, that thick cast iron, comes fantastic heat retention, and it's really forgiving for not burning, but you get all the heat you need. What I'm demonstrating there is actually the tearing motion that you're going to use for those thin strips of meat. You're going to kind of dice it up further when it gets on the griddle as it's just about ready to finish it off, and that'll tenderize or break those meat fibers up, making your sandwich more tender. Here you can see the way the professionals do it. Lots of heat in there. Chop, chop, chop. This video is actually taken in Philadelphia. You will want to have two spatulas in order to hold and pull at the same time.
Stay tuned for the kind of cheeses you want to use on this, because there are purists out there, and then there's you.
Just look how fast that cooks. Now you can see why we started those vegetables first. Hold on tight, it's getting there. Almost done. You know the cooking's getting good when that smoke alarm goes off and tells everyone dinner's ready. As promised, the flip is coming up in just a second. Now, some of the purists will tell you that it needs to be Cheese Whiz. I actually like Provolone on my sandwiches, but you can use whatever your favorite cheese is as well.
We love these Gas One portable stovetops. 15,000 BTU in 2 different stoves to fire up this griddle. All the heat you could ever want on a cast iron griddle.
Man, I love it when that happens. As I'm editing the video, my mouth starts to water all over again. Here comes the tip. Lay all of those toppings on the meat and let the grill and the steam coming off that go up into the bread and soften it as well. You also might get a little bit of brown bits as it fries the bread where it's touching the grill. If you like your bread toasted, I like to put it in the toaster oven before I put it on the grill at this point.
Tell me you didn't nail that. And portable too. You could take this out camping, other family events. You've got everything you need right here in this equipment.
And you won't believe how tender this steak ends up coming out.
We'll put a link down below where you can see this equipment and you can purchase anything you may happen to like.
And the mess too.
So YouTube says that this video is perfect for your viewing habits. This is my latest upload, and over here is a playlist for other cast iron you might just enjoy. I hope you liked it. If you did, please click like, subscribe, share, and come on back for more.